When making a fighting game, you'll quickly realize that it's really hard to manage all the attacks without a nice system to stay organized. In games with simpler combat, you usually have one or maybe two attack buttons at most, but in fighting games it can sometimes seem a little excessive. Then we have command normals, which add a whole lot more attacks. And then finally, we also have motion inputs, which basically means we can have an infinite number of attack options. So how do we keep this under control? If you want to follow along and build your own system, a prerequisite you will need is a fully working input management system that filters the inputs. I have a video on this already. Like for all of my videos, I will be using Godot in this one as well. Editor's note, if you are watching this early and I have not made the correction to the input system video regarding the choose action function, you have heard this message and it will be corrected at the end of the video. Then this correction will be removed when the original video is corrected. Every attack in a fighting game usually has a very specific set of conditions. Most commonly, it's the unique motion and attack button combination, as well as the state of whether the player is on the floor, if they're facing right, and any other conditions that is unique to the specific game. By using these specific conditions, it can help us organize our attacks. I do this in code by declaring a class called attackKey that extends resource. I then declare all of my conditions as variables, and I overwrite the initialization function to set those variables when I make a new attack key. Next, in my movelist script, I define all of the possible valid inputs, such as the 9 main input directions, the attack buttons, and the motions I want to allow. In the next part of the code, I declare each attack, giving it a name with the naming scheme, ground state, motion, and final input button. I then use @exportGroup and @exportSubgroup to organize the attacks both in the code and in the editor. By doing it this way, it looks like this in the editor. I find it very nice and organized. The next thing I do is put every single attack into a dictionary with the correct attack key. Each attack gets 2 lines in the dictionary, one for when it's facing right and the other for when it's facing left. Also take note that my sequences change from the right-facing version to the left-facing version, and vice versa. This is because my input system doesn't account for it, but the move list here does. The last part of the move list is the ready function, which combines all of the smaller dictionaries into a few large ones, like normals, command normals, and specials. Then it cleans up all the unused attacks and puts them into the all attacks dictionary. Regarding the editor's note at the beginning of the video, the original code, you can see it here. This section highlighted is supposed to be indented and have the following code instead. You may not have noticed any issues, but this fixes the picking the most recent attack. If you used one of my videos to make your fighting game input system, you'll need to make a small change. Looking at the original code, you'll need to add 2 conditions. One for if the player is on the floor, and another for if they're facing right. Do note that this is taken from my local code, where I have fully implemented most of my systems, so if you are making it yourself, do not assume you have all of the properties in this images. To end off this video, here is my full move list scrolling in the background at the time of recording, which is over 600 lines of code. When I need to edit this very large repetitive file, I use AI. I do this since it may be considered torture to have someone manually edit this file just to add a single sequence, and I wouldn't be surprised if this file is made a lot larger, as the only things I really have are quarter circles, normals, and command normals. Thank you for watching. I stream on YouTube and Twitch just during the summer, and I currently have a character prototype on itch.io. My full project is on GitHub under the name Fightvania. Feel free to check those out or check out any of my other videos. Also, feel free to like, subscribe, or type, or whatever else there is for support.